Today I'm going to show you how to decrease the amount of time you spend mucking out your chicken coop while simultaneously increasing the health and well-being of your flock. I'm Corinne Phillips and this is Fresh Pea Cooks. This summer I happened upon a philosophy of keeping chickens called the deep litter method. This is by no means a new concept. This is probably pretty standard procedure back in the day, but with the increased popularity in backyard flocks, some of these old methods that were tried and true have just gotten lost. So what is deep litter method? It's basically creating compost in the bottom of your chicken coop. Here's how it works. Traditionally, I've gone in once a month, mucked everything out, hauled it out to my compost, stirred it a few times. After about 6 months, then it breaks down enough that I can put it in my garden. This method eliminates all of that. No mucking out the coop. Once a month I'll go in and I'll scrape down the perches and any of the areas where poop collects, where the birds roost, and I will take a fresh armload of bedding material, sprinkle it all around on top of what's already currently there. There is a caveat. You must stir it. You need to break up all of that waste in there. The birds will roost in the same place every night and they will collect, their droppings will collect right under them. You can't leave those patties of droppings down there. That's when you start getting that ammonia and that really foul smell. You want to break all of that up and introduce the new brown material, whether you use straw or wood chips, into it. And eventually, when the bedding gets a certain thickness, it will start to break down. Now you've got a whole host of beneficial insects and microbiota that's in there creating and breaking down that bedding material. Every couple weeks, I'll go in the chicken coop, scrape down the perches, put a layer of fresh bedding in there, take a little handful of chicken scratch, which the birds love, and just toss it in the bottom. When you toss bird food in the bottom of your coop, the birds go after it and they start digging around and they do all of the raking for you. If your birds aren't as industrious as mine, you can just take a rake and just knock up any piles that you see and kind of aerate and turn the bottom bedding. If you've enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. It really does help us creators. Once the bedding is about a foot deep, you only have to add new brown material maybe once a month. Then in the spring, when you go to clean everything out of there, you will have this partially broken down, composted, beautiful material to put into your garden beds or into your compost. I've gone ahead and I've cleared all the poop from the windowsills. I've taken all of the nesting material out of the nesting boxes and just tossed it on the floor. That is just part of my new layer. Refresh the nesting boxes, put some herbs from the garden in there. Now, interestingly enough, herbs, especially the really fragrant ones, are natural pest repellents. So they work beautifully in this method and they'll just break down and become part of that compost as well. One thing you do want to note, many of you use diatomaceous earth in your coop and in the nesting boxes to help fight disease, mites, any sort of little pestilence. Diatomaceous earth does not work with this system because it's too effective of a microbial killer, and it actually will impede the process of the organisms that you do want in your coop, the good ones that are in there breaking down and fighting the bad ones. So if you've traditionally used diatomaceous earth on your birds, if you have a reoccurring mite problem, you can use wood ash. So just whatever's from your fireplace, make sure it's all cool and broken down and there's nothing yucky in it, like you weren't burning pressure treat or anything terrible, and use that wood ash to treat your birds. And you can also put it in the nesting boxes. Then in the spring, you take out this beautiful composted material and you can put it straight into your garden. Now, spring is a really good time to do a once over really thorough cleaning. So once I've removed all of the bedding, I'll take some Dr. Bronner's or a Castile completely non-toxic soap and some peppermint oil, some spearmint oil, thyme oil, any of those that are really good at fighting, that have microbacterial properties. And I'll spray down the entire coop, all of the corners, all of the perches, the crevices, and take the pressure washer to the inside and really just get it super clean. Let it dry out for a couple days and then add more bedding back in. Now, the course of the summer, you don't really want really deep bedding in there that's creating heat because it's hot and you want them to cool down. So in the summer, I'll put very little bedding material down, and I won't add big thick layers like I will in the winter, but I'll utilize the same method and I'll just let it go maybe 3 months instead of all winter long. So if you have questions about keeping chickens, if you have questions about managing your coop, leave them below. I'm very happy to address them if I can. Thank you for your time. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you next time.